Exclusive interview with our very own Chloe Malas. In a wide-ranging interview, Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, is opening up about politics, philanthropy, and the economy. He and his partner, Lauren Sanchez, also tell CNN they're writing a $100 million check to the legendary country singer Dolly Parton to help her advance her own charity work. Watch.
Talk to me about choosing Dolly Parton.
Well, look at what she's done and how she's led her life. And the way she's done it, these bold things, always with...
Bro, I can't believe I'm about to say this about my boss, but they are so busted. What's going on, dude? There's just something going on with like rich people and like the kind of like rich person plastic surgery. Like you either look like Bella Hadid, which is great, or you go one step further and you're like Omega rich. And then I don't know if it's like the oozing of the Botox that you use when you were like kind of rich or not really all that rich, or if you just don't know what the right esthetician is, but it's just crazy.
She's a unifier. You know, we have big problems in the world, and the way to get big problems done is you have to work together. We have too many examples in the world of conflict and people using ad hominem attacks on social media and so on and so on. You won't find Dolly Parton doing that.
Yeah, that's why we chose Dolly Parton, because she doesn't engage in ad hominem attacks. Oh my God, I really hope this motherfucker doesn't know who I am. Holy shit, dude. And I mean, I love him. I love Jeff Bezos. Sir, you are so good. I love you. You are the best. I mean, you're better than Elon Musk, okay? You're so good. I think that your Lex Luthor style approach is very cool. You chose the exact opposite route. Instead of doing the hair plugs and not doing steroids, you chose to do the steroids and the HGH and not go with the hair plugs, which I respect, I think. That's cool. And you went to space. That's cool. You're not weird at all. You're not weird and gross at all, okay? Bro, he's natty? What do you mean? Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He's natty. He has like the typical build of an old man who never worked out until like in his late 30s and can't overcome the bitch tits, but he still has like, he has the best bod out of all the billionaires. I'll say it. Well, not like LeBron James, obviously. LeBron James is the best bod by far, but I'm saying like out of all like the non-athlete, non-actor billionaires, like he has the best bod for sure.
Do you think that the American dream is something that really is still attainable right now?
Well, I'm an optimist.
Dude, he's bursting out, dude. Look at that shit. Okay, I'm not meat riding, but like, look at him, dude. He is a fucking juice lord. Are you crazy? That shot looks like is a body that belongs to someone else. When you do the headshot, you're like, oh, okay, like that's his weird busted face. And then the shot expands and you get that wide shot and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck happened to your shoulders, bro? What happened to your titties, dog? Bro, he literally looks like he put on like someone else's like muscle suit.
I think that people use conflict as a tool to achieve their own ends. I don't think it's a good tool. We see sometimes in our political sphere.
Yeah, like when Jeff Bezos is like relying on the state to squash pre-existing conflict, like people being like, hey, we want better wages. Like, hey, can I not piss in a bottle? Hey, I don't want to be attached to this fucking machine that's like constantly calculating what what my time off task looks like. He's relying on the inherently oppressive structural violence of poverty that came before him and will probably continue after he passes, right? If he ever perishes, he might have already figured out the whole like head in a jar type thing. Who knows? He can just say like, oh man, I hate that conflict. The ad hominem attacks and the civility is just so weird. Right? Like, I hate that shit. It's like, bro, yeah, you can say that because, like, your life is pretty much devoid of that. There is not a single fucking conflict that you can't pay your way out of. I mean, guys, remember, this is a man, like, he overcame divorce court. He's a divorce court victim, which was the greatest conflict facing any, cisgendered, heterosexual, red-blooded American man, okay? He overcame that. I don't think he won divorce court, let's be real. It was a $50 billion divorce court. And part of the reason why he went to divorce court was because the fucking Saudi nation, like, revealed that he was sexting that cutie next to him on, like, different social media apps and shit. Does anybody remember that? Which, by the way, Mackenzie is a dime, straight up. I can't believe he downgraded so hard. Like, Mackenzie stood by your side from day one. That's your day one. She's natty. She also likes to work out. She keeps it tight. Cannot believe that this man fucked the big bag up like a $50 billion downgrade. Anyway, that's unrelated. I just can't stop thinking about that regularly. All right, let's keep going.
Certain politicians criticize other politicians. They criticize their motives, their character. They call them names. Once you've done that, it's hard to work with somebody. And that's why we created the Courage and Civility Award, because we want to highlight people who don't do that.
And we wanted to amplify their voices.
It'd be real funny if they gave me that.
You know, when you go and you look at your net worth, it's too much money to even spend in a lifetime. Do you plan to give away the majority of your wealth in your lifetime?
Yeah, I do. And the hard part is figuring out how to do it in a levered way. It's not easy. Building Amazon was not easy. It took a lot of hard work, a bunch of very smart teammates, and I'm finding, and I think Lauren's finding the same thing, that philanthropy is very similar. It's not easy. It's really hard, and there are a bunch of ways that I think that you could do ineffective things too.
No, bro. Listen, dog. There's a real easy way, okay? Just look at Elon Musk. He's doing it so easy right now. Look at Kanye West. I'll give you one low-tier billionaire and one high-tier billionaire, okay? Both of them have been melting, okay? They have been straight up just putting entire bags of money and just lighting it on fire. Oh, there's another one, the FTX CEO. God, so many Billy boys have been so silly Billy on the timeline lately. What is happening? Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Bankman-Fried, Elon Musk, Kanye West. That's crazy. They're showing Jeff Jebediah how it's done. Okay. He's out here like, oh man, it's really hard to spend all my money. Meanwhile, like Elon Musk is like, haha, no, it's not. If the media was not a mouthpiece for capital, this would not be a puff piece. There would have to be some level of contention here. Like a person that is at least like relatively honest and recognizes their position as a journalist in media should ask the very simple question. You have amassed billions of dollars, and all of them hinges on the profits that you have extracted from your workers. How do you make up for that reality in your mind? Because right now, without that question, this is just advertisement. This is just puff piece. This is not a real interview. This is just, he paid for this basically. And if you are talking about philanthropy and how difficult it is, why don't you feel like the government should get some of these funds rather than, these tax-free donations or these donations that you're going to be making that will also shelter some of your assets and some of the tax burden that you have, will diminish some of the tax burden that you have. Why can't the government spend it? Stop saying the government was send it to Ukraine. Shut up. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Don't be one of those guys. You're literally playing. Yes, the government does spend a lot of fucking money on the defense side, okay? It doesn't matter. Ultimately, there's a fuckload of money that still goes to the roads and the schools, and like you are literally just starving the beast, but in a leftist way. It hurts my soul when people who are otherwise functionally leftists make these kinds of arguments. But what you should see beyond that is the reality that, no matter what happens, a lot of that money is still going to go to potholes, roads, schools, public education, social safety nets, social security. There are so many areas that are inadequately funded. You can work to try and fix the government and make sure that it operates for everyone adequately, while also consistently staying on message with making sure that billionaires pay their fucking fair share, which I think they should. Also, when you say that about Jeff Bezos, like, what are you, crazy? He has government contracts. He's a defense contractor just like anyone else. So, like, what, you think Jeff Bezos doesn't want to fucking pay his fair share in taxes because he's like, oh, it's going to Ukraine? He doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's literally a defense contractor. The fuck are you talking about?
The Day One Fund, where we do work on the here and now, the urgent food security, homelessness, transient homelessness. There's all kinds of very important problems in that arena too.
That is pretty funny. Jeff Bezos has never seen a homeless person. I'm gonna be honest with you. When do you guys think the last time Jeff Bezos saw a homeless person? Like, I don't think he can see with his eyes a homeless person in the physical space. There is no shot. People are like, he's from Seattle, law. It's like, yeah, dude. What, he lives in a fucking compound. You think he just, strolls down to the local Starbucks to grab a cup of Joe? Like, no, it's Jeff Bezos, brother. He takes a helicopter to work. Yeah, literally. Like, Also, the irony is that like every single person that he is in any room with the exception of like maybe Davos or like the Aspen Ideas or like the fucking Idaho, the Jackson Hole conference that he goes to, every single person Jeff Bezos meets is infinitely closer to homelessness than they are to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is so wealthy that he quite literally is in like 99.99999% of rooms, everyone is literally homeless. He went to space with a bunch of dudes who were functionally homeless in comparison to his wealth. William Shatner included. Would you hit Jeff Bezos? He's hot. I'll say it. He works out. Yeah, people say don't sleep with your boss until your boss is Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos, dude. I mean, come on, he's hot. The real reason they divorced, Short King slander? How dare you, dude? That is actually bullshit. No, the real reason why they divorced, I told you why they divorced. It's because he was like sexting some honeys. You know what I mean? That's what he was doing. Bro, he ain't watching right now. You can talk shit. Listen, dog, I'm trying to secure a fat contract, okay? I'm trying to get the bag. Honestly, he fucked up the bag double time. Like, not only did this cost him $50 billion, but it also cost him like Mackenzie Bezos' love and affection. And she seems like as normal as you can be. It's not like they met while he was like super wealthy or anything. They like literally, that's a day one. And she's very attractive, like on top of everything else. But it's in my opinion, I think it's like so much more important to be day one than anything else. All the money in the world and he still can't buy privacy. Brother, the Saudi kingdom hacked him. It's not like it was some fucking phishing scam that he got caught in. It was the Saudi government. The level of access that they have. Here, let me tell you something, okay? The Saudi kingdom has more access to your shit if they want to. Like, let's say you're like a Shia Saudi person living in fucking Canada. They have more access to your personal information than like the CIA does. They'll just go and buy it. Like I said, it doesn't matter unless you're like an 18-year-old Shia, a Saudi national who is a Shia who is like living in fucking Canada or some shit. Motherfucker clicked on a phishing link to get hacked though. Yeah, by the Saudi government, dude. I mean, it's a little different when it's MBS himself cooking you. Why did they do that? I don't really remember what was the reason behind that move. Oh, it's because Khashoggi, because he bought Washington Post. That's right. Good call, guys. They married when he was the richest person in America and she worked for him? What do you mean day one? Wait, what? No, dude, you're talking about Bill Gates. You're mistaking Bill Gates and Bill and Melinda Gates for Jeffrey and Mackenzie. I think he was still caked up, but he was nowhere near. Like, when did they get married? Let's look at Jeffrey and... Yeah, they were married for 25 years, man. I don't think he was worth $5 billion. Wait, really? I thought they started Amazon together, though. In 1992, Bezos was working for D.E. Shaw in Manhattan, where he met novelist Mackenzie Tuttle, who was a research associate at the firm. The couple married a year later in 1994. They moved across the country to Seattle, Washington, where Bezos found Amazon. Yeah, they got married, and then Jeff Bezos made Amazon. And she definitely she was there. She helped him run it out of their garage, if I remember right at the beginning. Yeah. Yo, low-key, Mackenzie and Jeff, like, their height difference isn't that significant if you take out Mackenzie's neck length, dude. What the fuck? Mackenzie's like 80% neck. What is going on? Why do you think there was no prenup, chatters? Why do you think there was no prenup? You think someone worth a couple billion is not going to get a fucking prenuptial agreement lined up with their significant other before they get married? You're out of your mind, dude. That's why her net worth now is $50 billion, which she deserves, by the way. I'm not even going to fucking act like that's not the case. Like, not deserves in the same way that like obviously no one deserves that kind of money. Like, that's ridiculous. And all of that is still ill-gotten gains. That is exploitative. But like, as far as like, did she fucking help out from day one? 100%. Being brutal alongside Jeff? 100%. Hazan, I gotta say, it's kind of creepy how deep you're trying to get into your boss's sex life. Okay, dude, it's Jeff Bezos. It's not like my boss is like some fucking your manager at Jiffy Lube, you know? It's Jeff Bezos. It's the news.
So my advice to people, whether they're small business owners or, is take some risk off the table. If you were going to make a purchase, maybe slow down that purchase a little bit. Keep some dry powder on hand, and wait a bit and see how. Try to reduce some risk in your business or your life.
Well, you tweeted batten down the hatches. That's what you mean by that?
That's what I mean. If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a new, large screen TV, maybe slow that down, keep that cash, see what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator or a new car or whatever. Just take some risk off the table. If you're a small business, maybe delay some capital purchases. Do you really need that new piece of equipment? Maybe it can wait a little bit. Have some cash on hand. Just a little bit of risk reduction could make the difference for that small business if we do get into even more serious economic problems. So you got to play the probabilities a little bit.
So is someone going to ask, like, so what's up with, like, when you say, shave a little bit from the corners, do some cost cutting? What about the 10,000 employees you are starting to fucking lay off? Like, does that factor into your, redundancy elimination, because you're Jeff Bezos, like you're telling me lay off the fucking avocado toast, but for you that means 10,000 workers that are now out of a job.
We also got into other things, like I said, in space and what it looks like on their Saturday night and how they fight over what movies to watch. And so later in the day, we'll show you some more.
What's interesting, and you were talking about, sort of the buzz around him. You see, I saw him and Lauren at the Portrait Gallery unveiling.
Bro, that's dude, it's always funny when chatters think I'm to this degree mobbed up, lack of a better term, because Don Lemon and Jeff Bezos are hanging out at gallery openings and shit. You know what I mean? The fuck? That's how you arrive at a fucking non-contentious relationship within the media and those who own capital, by the way. Because that person that's offering that puff piece interview to Jeff Bezos wants to become that person one day. She knows in order for that person to become this person, you got to fucking not rock the boat.
And it sounds like I'll say again, that she's planning to go with an all-female crew in 2023. So there you go.
That's so sick. Yeah, feminism.